Welcome to GearCheckGames. This is part 14 of our commentary for Metroid Prime. Last time we revisited Phendrana Drifts and collected a couple of Chozo artifacts, along with all of the pickups we couldn't get before. And today we're going to continue hunting for Chozo artifacts.
By revisiting Magmore Caverns, again!
Yeah. Although I think this is more of like a transitory visit.
Oh.
Well, actually, I think we do get a Chozo artifact here, but I...
So this time it's like you can definitely get the pillar Chozo artifact now.
Yeah, you missed it.
Yeah, whether or not it's like out of the way right now, it's probably not route optimal at current because it's way back at the start.
I'm trying to... Oh wait, no, I have to go get a Power Bomb expansion first. I'm not exactly sure what I do here, because I know most of this part takes place in the Chozo ruins, but I don't remember whether I go there from Magmore or the Talon overworld.
You said you don't know what you're doing here. Don't worry, so do the designers.
Hey man, 3D growing pains.
Yeah. Like I said, when we talked about this, I liked Magmore Caverns, but its design was not the best. Okay, more that the game's overall design was the best. We're not going to get into
I think
this.
I've cut out most of the reason why people don't like Magmore Caverns. Because, like I said, I never show myself going back here if there's not, like, anything new to find.
Which means he's visited this place like 4 more times that you guys haven't seen!
Yeah. Something like that.
I like that even in the rooms where you get artifacts, there's going to be like little pickups hidden around.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really make you... there's a lot of instances like that in this game where there's a room that's basically dedicated to one pickup, but then the game sends you back there once you get a later item, like, nope, there's one more thing that you missed.
I just realized that,
here.
like, we talked about... Yeah, I realized that we talked about Meridia and its entrance in the previous episode. Whenever
Oh, yeah! It's like a little
this is a
stealth
callback
reference.
to the Meridia entrance.
Yeah.
For those unaware, in Super Metroid, and spoilers for a very old game, you enter Meridia by power bombing a glass tube that kind of goes through like an underwater area. And so this is a callback to that, and flipped it in a hot area. But thankfully they didn't put you under lava for that.
Hey, technically that way's the back door to Meridia, because if you're coming straight out of the sunken ship, you can just go straight down into Meridia.
Right, but aren't you kind of gated off from where you need to go if you come in that way?
I think so, yeah. You still have to make your way back.
The back door is part of the critical path.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when you go to take on Bowser in Super Mario World. In fact, now that I think about it, every time I've played that game, I don't think I've ever beaten that whole entire level. I've always just gone in through the back door like a cheater.
Whoa!
Anyway, so here's another one that I wasn't professional enough to get without the X-ray visor, and all that's really here is a missile, so nothing super exciting.
I don't think I've ever gotten this missile. Yeah, not gonna lie, I think that's the first time I've ever even seen those platforms.
Is that...
What a wonderful surprise.
I don't even think I've ever scanned that pillar.
I don't remember that in my 100%. Did I miss one?
Did you see 100% on your completion screen?
I think so.
Then you got it.
Shit. Oh no! Wait, yeah, I got it. Because the ship's computer's like 100% completion of pickups. I said it just like that, like Mickey Mouse.
Yeah. Great impression, Trey.
Want to see my head come off?
You should, if you want to see that impression and more, you should check out our Kingdom Hearts videos on this very channel, GearCheckGames.com.
Yeah, they're full of wonderful, terrible impressions of beloved Disney characters.
So, I do appreciate that you're invincible during these cutscenes.
Oh yeah.
As you just straight got flamed.
Hey, that's why we have the Variasuit, remember?
I got 4 more.
Heat resistance.
I love that you're just sitting here tanking it from him.
At least that's what they advertise on the package.
I know we've mentioned it before, but I like that you can kill the lava monster with the lava beam. And it still burns him up.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure the Magmores are just there, like, less as, you know, they're less of a challenge and more of just like, wow, look at this cool 3D lava enemy.
So you said the Variasuit is heat resistance. Is it made of asbestos? Is that
This isn't the Wizard of Oz.
Is that what's in those shoulder pads? For
How
cancer
different would that
medication?
movie have been if Dorothy had like an alien armor suit and an arm cannon?
Honestly, that's the spin-off that I want to see.
You mean
She wouldn't have needed those 3 other schmucks.
I mean, she kind of had a living suit of armor with a gun. Oh wait, no, the Scarecrow had the gun.
Oh yeah, he did have a gun.
you mean to tell me I could have defeated Ridley with just a bucket of water? Time and time again.
Maybe.
All right, where do I find the bucket of water beam?
Also, I want to see,
Mario
listeners.
It's the only way to get it to work properly.
I want to see fan art of Ridley as the Wicked Witch of the West on a broom.
Surrender, Samus Aran.
Instead of Toto in the basket, put the baby Metroid in there.
Wait a minute, does that mean that Toto's like breed of dog is like the most deadly creature in the galaxy?
That's why she had to take.
And that Samus has killed all of them except for Toto?
Just
I'm
keep him
surprised
around
you
as a
still
reminder.
fight these guys and don't just space jump over them.
Viewers, if you are still following this conversation, you deserve a medal. Sometimes I just stop and I listen to the words coming out of my mouth and I just
I'm not
shake
gonna
my
lie,
head
I
in
checked out of that
disappointment.
conversation about like 50 seconds ago.
Smart man.
Hey, you're finally using the boost ball to go as fast as you can through long corridors.
Yeah, that way he can get to the door before it's finished loading. Oh,
Yeah.
but right, you are playing on the Wii one, which has faster loading
I'm
times.
so proud of him.
He does learn eventually.
Oh yeah, this is a way that you could have come like as soon as the opening hours of the game.
But
There's not really anything to do here in
Yeah.
this. Like this is this is kind of the room that clues you in that you're gonna need a heat-resistant suit
Oh yeah.
if you come in here early.
Not only a
but-
heat-resistant suit, the grappling beam and the super bombs.
Yeah, to do anything in that room, you're gonna need power-ups that you don't get until like the
End of the game.
penultimate chapter of the game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's
It
a
is a
pickup
cool
coming
looking
up.
room though. When you first get in there, it's just like, I am not geared for this.
Oh yeah, you guys ready for some BS?
This is the most bullshit pickup in this game.
Oh, that's another pickup I have literally emceeing for the first time.
Yeah, if you knew how to pay attention
I was using
to this
Yeah.
terrible visual cue.
As I was saying, it's like that is a. I played Prime. How long would it have been after I played Fusion? Man, Fusion. Me playing Fusion would have been disappointed in me that played Prime.
To kind of revise my disparaging comments about that room, I think the visual cue is fine, but like the shape and size of that room kind of tricks you into thinking it's like one of those like transitory hallways
I assumed
with nothing
it
in
was.
it. Yeah, but no.
I was using a guide, and it said there's a little pathway under the tree roots, and I'm like,
Are you kidding me?
but where? But where?
This is also a fun room. Like I really
Yeah.
like this.
Well, any room with these half pipes is just.
Well, not
It's too
only
much
that,
fun.
but like the half pipe, like right in the center where it leads to the bomb stuff. It's so fun because you messed it up though, because you can just go from one right to the other,
Yeah.
and it's in the Chozo beaks. It's just like it's one of those things where it's just like this Chozo engineering. Like, how did this ever serve like a practical purpose?
And the big Chozo's just like, good job, Dad.
I like to think
He's missing a jaw.
this is just a Chozo basketball court.
Well, right, but what is the purpose of this? Like, is that how they got to like the spectating stands that can fit like 4 people?
That's where
Yeah,
the
using their spider ball.
This is like the bowling ball dispenser.
that's the locker room. You have to go there in a very convoluted way.
What a wonderful
Can
anachronism.
Samus use her own boost ball as her bowling ball?
I am the ball.
I don't remember if or I don't know if this has been fixed in the remaster. But I've
You
always
didn't
been
even take
scared.
any damage!
I've always been scared to touch those or to get too close to those like little lift
Pistons?
things. The little lift things, or morph ball lift things, when they're going back down, because they got the little lip on them, and they'd like sometimes pinch you and like damage you and knock you away.
That is still in the trilogy version. In fact, I think that happened to me like right after I entered the Chozo Ruins, because I was getting a little too anxious with one of those little morph ball elevators in a previous room.
Hey,
so this
back.
is our, I
We've
think,
seen it
fourth
many
time
times.
coming to this room. And the most annoying time because we got to deal with Chozo ghosts. Or, just book it to the end and try our best to ignore them.
They can shoot you off that rail. It is annoying.
Yeah. Hence why I wasn't wasting any time getting to the end.
Yeah. Like you said, Trent, like, you do come through that room if you're going for every pickup. You have to come through that room like 3 times to get all the pickups, because like this little like under the place where you got the wave buster is another like hidden pickup. You have to have the gravity,
and it's a critical path one.
Yeah, gotta have the gravity to get this one.
Yeah.
Have we talked in this yet about the vertical doors? Or I guess technically horizontal, but the ones that like go up and down.
Yeah,
Yes,
we
we
talked about
have.
In the Pyre
vertical
Line.
doors.
And I think we're split on them.
Oh,
I
yeah.
like them.
Yeah. My vote was I like them. I found them fun.
I think they're annoying and dumb, and they make the game too hard.
Trey?
I'm gonna be the non-decision making middleman here.
Dan, that is rich.
Leaving me hanging like this?
I like that they tried it, because there are doors like that in other Metroid games.
In the 2D ones, yeah.
Like, sometimes the loading and, like, collision on them is a little off.
I remember that being a pain in the ass on the GameCube when load times were really bad.
So it's both a yes and a no. So we went one step forward and one step back. With
I
those.
literally just like them because they feel cool.
Yeah, design-wise, I really liked them because they were a nifty callback to the Metroid games where, like, vertical doors were, like, no big deal. But they definitely weren't the most elegant execution.
You go to play Metroid Prime 2 and you're like, hey, they're strangely absent in this entire game. And they've been replaced by these Dark World and Light World portals.
Yeah, the vertical doors were this game's gimmick.
Man, if that was the trade-off, that was a bad trade.
Trent, for someone who claims to like Metroid Prime, you sure do have a lot of complaints with it.
What?
Or Metroid Prime 2, sorry.
I mean, it's one of those things where it's... I know I've explained this.
Cares.
Yeah, I know this is one of the things I've explained, and, like, I try to, like... I realize there's a quirk about me, and I try to, compensate for it. It's... almost the entirety of the stuff that I will complain about for stuff that I like, while they're valid, I will also, say that's like, these aren't deal breakers, they aren't, like, the biggest things ever, it's just like, these are the only things I have to complain about, but I think they deserve to be complained about because they are, existent and...
Nice Mission Impossible move there, Joe.
Yeah, that was really good. So,
does Samus also have, when she smiles, a center tooth, much like
Tom Cruise? God, please no.
I forgot about that.
When you said center tooth, I was like, what? Like every Pokemon, every young Pokemon character since Black and White?
I thought you were making a joke. At first, I thought you were making a joke about her having like a vestigial bird beak or something.
Whoa, no!
They hatched her from a Samus egg many moons ago.
A Samus egg that looks strangely like a morph ball.
Oh my god. That would imply that she was born with the suit.
Yeah.
Someone who's like a Digimon fan.
Her human body is just her skeleton.
Did you guys notice how that tiny little room we just went to needed 2 loading screen rooms? Like one for the morph ball and one for Samus?
This is another missile that I've never gotten.
This is another BS pickup. Like, you would never find this room. You would never go back to this room other than to get the other pickup that you know that there's another one up there, because you can literally look up in that room that has a little like morph ball hole. You would never go in the water again. You would purposely avoid the water.
You know, it just occurred to me that I made fun of Trent for complaining about a game that he claims to love, when that's like basically all we've been doing this entire playthrough.
Yeah.
I assure you folks, we all love and revere Metroid Prime.
We do.
Yeah. Like, I mean, there's a reason that we're so into it. Like, this is this is our childhood, and it's not just nostalgia.
Like,
it's a good game.
In spite of all the little nitpicks we've brought to light, like, we don't really care about any of them.
Yeah.
At least I don't think we do.
Well, we care about them, but like
Dan
there
probably
are
does.
so many more good things. Like that's what I was trying to get at. It's just like I think all the complaints we have are valid.
Oh yeah.
They might be a little nitpicky in some cases, but they're certainly valid complaints. But they're like I said,
it's more in the vein of like, oh my god, playing this game was such an awful experience as it is. Like, you just kind of fondly remembering the shit you had to go through the first time.
Yeah.
Well,
Like more Chozo ghosts
Yeah.
everywhere in
it's one of those
every room.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's just like, it definitely hits differently on a second playthrough, years later. But it's also one of those things where it's just like, it doesn't ruin the experience.
Like, remember that time we got jumped by 1,000,000 Chozo ghosts all the time? Good
Hey,
times.
Lois, remember that time we got jumped by Chozo ghosts?
Now, one thing I will say is, like,
Family ghost.
Like, it was probably unintentional, but I do really like the design where, like, whenever you pulled up your X-ray visor to fight the Chozo ghost, it was very clear there was something here, as if the giant, like, crack marks didn't already indicate that.
Yeah.
But, like, I do like that little bit of probably unintentional design.
So this is probably one of my favorite puzzles in this game. Just like...
Oh, really? Because it's one of my... Well, actually... I guess most of the spider ball tracks are pretty fun to traverse. But this one, the problem I have with this one is that it's kind of you have to make a lot of leaps of faith with the morph ball, where you can't quite make out like the drop shadow. Like, look at that.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I was a little hasty there, but
This section feels like a Crash Bandicoot 1 level.
Yeah.
oh yeah. I understand your meaning without an explanation.
And, additionally, like, those little red things, like, their hitbox is a little wonky. If they clip you just wrong, it's just like, well, goodbye, everybody. So, I don't dislike that puzzle, but I also don't mind it.
Again?
More pirates!
Everybody
Not
sing along.
pirates.
Da 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 da
What?
da da.
What was that tracking on that super missile? It went through him.
I think it went
That
into
was
another
some-
dimension.
Some prime cut grade A Metroid Prime.
Prime cut.
I mean, to be fair,
Oh.
if we're tracking
Damn
the
it.
number of, like, tracking shots that have been more generous towards you than anything else, the number of times that you've launched a wave beam charge shot and it just, like, 90-degree angles into something
Yeah.
is
Wave
pretty
beam is so
impressive.
generous.
Yeah.
The Chozo Gross just like slipped the programmer a 20 for that
Chozo
one.
gross.
Yeah. He's just like, listen, I
Chozo
think we can get
Bruce.
him this time.
Uh-huh.
Man, what do you think Samus is eating on Talon 4? Like, we haven't seen her...
Bugs.
Fruit and honey from the Hornets.
Those little tubes
Hornets
that go
don't
to her
make
head
honey.
are
The
they
war
go
hornets
towards
do.
her like
They
I don't know.
combs?
maybe she's got like some kind of
Hornets don't make honey, they just make war.
Ah, so they're American.
Or war... Oh, it's true.
Hey, Retro Studios is a Texas-based
Oh, God.
company.
Would that make them Warnets?
Mm-hmm.
There are
Hey, it's
there
our
are a
old pal,
few
the
things in
particle
this
door.
world that make me feel a sense of pride in my country. But one of the few things is the fact that Metroid Prime was made in America.
Yeah. Well, like, that's also another thing, is, like, it's kind of shocking that Nintendo took this risk to give one of their, like, big three brands to a, Western company, and they did a cracking good job at it.
Uh-huh. Well, yeah, it had to have been, like, a huge gamble, because at this point, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Retro Studios had released a game prior to this. Which is part of why, and I don't think we've really properly discussed like the lead up to this game's release yet. But people were very apprehensive about this new direction for Metroid. Obviously, because it was a huge departure from what had been exclusively up until this point, 2D action game, like a run and gun game.
I did just check, and you are correct. Metroid Prime was the first game that Retro Studios released.
Mm-hmm. The first of 5.
Yep.
If you don't count Metroid Prime Trilogy.
Who did they know?
Hey, they take their time. They do a good job.
Yeah. I mean, they knew a lot of people in Nintendo, but it was Jeff Spagenberg, who is an industry veteran who has worked on a lot of really good things.
Okay.
Like Metroid Prime.
He worked on a lot of good old things. Back when that mattered.
Uh-huh.
Hey, we're back in the Talon Oval.
Ah!
Is there a thing where you don't get the new music until a certain point in the game?
Yeah, I don't think this music starts until you defeat Thardus.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, because that's one of the recurring themes of the Metroid games, where it's just once you've kind of proven yourself, you've acquired all this new power, and you've taken down some big bads. You're feeling good, Samus is feeling good, the OST's feeling good. It's a lot more triumphant.
See, to me, I kind of get the opposite vibe from this version. Whereas in Super Metroid, the overworld area starts out with Crateria.
Yes.
That's where you start. The overworld theme starts out kind of menacing and ominous, and then after you've made some progress, does what Trent's been talking about, where you get a more heroic background track to listen to. But I feel like Metroid Prime kind of does the opposite, where the music starts out with this more kind of hopeful, triumphant tune, but then once you're halfway through the game and you've, if you're doing a normal playthrough, you've probably read a lot of the lore, and you've, realized by this point that Talon 4, because of the infestation of Face-On, is kind of a doomed planet. I feel like this music kind of reinforces that realization that if you whether or not you do anything about the stuff going on here, this planet might not be around for very much longer.
Right. Yeah.
Especially since you're going around killing all of the wildlife.
They're in the way, okay?
Yeah. Now that we talk about it more, I think I'm gonna just been projecting my memories from Super and Zero Mission kind of onto Prime.
Well, and it's understandable. But we've said, this game does kind of reuse that same kind of framework, but
yeah, it's definitely a good twist on it in the fact that it is showing kind of more plus also they're kind of hinting at not to spoil it, but they've been kind of hinting at that there is some sort of big horror inside of the impact crater, and that you're gonna fight that. And Samus realizes she's going to fight that.
Funnily enough, that's another one of the differences between the original NTSC release of Prime and every subsequent release. Regarding the Eldritch abomination inside the impact crater, in the original NTSC release, the pirates talk about oh yeah, we discovered Metroid Prime and locked it in a cave. But it's
how did you get
you get inside the impact crater without the Chozo artifacts? Those things that your entire goal in this game is to find and destroy.
The pirates just had a pirate-sized tube in there that Samus couldn't get through.
They went through the back door.
Yeah. And that's the moral of the story. Good night, everyone.